So you want to know if you should up or lower your standards. It's a question I get all the time. It's a question I used to ask myself all the time. On the one hand, there can be a fear around upping your standards. What if there's not enough people to meet them? And also the fear around who you might have to let go of if you up those standards. When it comes to lowering standards, people will say, well, isn't it okay that I am with someone that I fancy? And yes, it is. That's not what we're going to be talking about. No one's lowering their standards to not be attracted to anyone or to end up settling. That's not the plan here. All we're talking about is 3 tips just to help you on your journey around setting standards so that you are living a life and dating and having relationships that are true to who you are, but also that are not blocking you off from love, because sometimes that's what standards can be. They can be walls instead of healthy, kind of appropriate standards. They can be like a wall of protection, you know? So I'm going to give you 3 tips to help you when it comes to setting those standards so that you can go into your dating life and be in your relationship from a place that just makes you feel a bit more whole. So my first tip when it comes to setting your standards is it is still looking at that kind of traditional idea of having the list. Okay, so I'm not taking a list away from anyone. However, what we are doing is we're going to change the list. So the list of things that you desire in someone, so rather than it be like a need or a want coming from like a chasing that I'm only going to be okay if I have these things, a list of what you desire in your relationship or in your partner. And then what you're going to do is like consider how those things make you feel. Consider that list from a new perspective. For example, classic example, if on your list you want someone tall, I would ask you, this is literally what I do with my clients, to consider how does someone who's tall, what is it about that? How does that make you feel? Because I can tell you I've blocked off many people because I thought I was only attracted to tall people. So something like that, those kind of standards, they will block off love. They will just let people pass you by that you could have something really special with. But I do appreciate that there's something in that feeling, something that you value about that. So find out what that is, and then that's going to help you kind of broaden, you know, rather than it just has to be someone's height. Okay. So the second tip for you is that variety is the spice of life. If you are someone who has a type, then the chances are that is going to be standing in your way. That type, that standard is probably just getting you the same results over and over again for starters. It may well be based on fear-led thoughts, past experiences, and just elements that may not be quite what you need. So I would be encouraging you to talk and be open with people that perhaps you wouldn't usually talk to. You know, if you're on the app, swipe right to someone that perhaps is a little bit different to who you would usually swipe right to. If you have the opportunity to talk to someone, dive into that conversation. These things don't have to lead to someone being the one. These people don't have to lead to you spending your life with someone, and sometimes we can forget that. This is a great opportunity for you to see how other people can talk to you and your ability to connect with people who are not just your type. Okay, there's a lot to be said about a type. The third tip, and this one can be a little bit controversial because of course my job is to be here to help you to set standards that are true to you and that give you more joy in your relationships and dating and your love life. However, sometimes you are still in touch with your ex. You are still reaching out to that person that you know is no good for you. You're like on the edge of this being over, but you've not quite got there yet. So what I'm saying around this tip of setting your standards is admit it when you are lowering your standards. When you know that you are dating someone or seeing someone, still in touch with someone who isn't able to meet your needs, who doesn't reflect the kind of person you truly want to be with, who isn't available to you, admit it. You are going to save yourself time. I'm not saying you've got to cut them off right now, and that can sometimes surprise my clients. However, there is a time and place for cutting off, and it depends on your situation. But if right now you are lowering your standards, if right now you are with someone who does not meet the things that you say that you want, admit it. Do that, and you're going to really save yourself time and help yourself. You don't have to take any action, but begin by admitting it. So they are my 3 tips just to help you to explore setting your standards, because it is really important, especially if you are someone who has settled in the past, accepted crumbs in the past, struggled to have your needs met, struggled to communicate what you desire and what you want in a relationship. Then you starting to take these steps to consider your standards is really going to help you when it comes to becoming the leader of your love life. I'm Carly Ann, I'm a self-esteem and relationship coach, and I am here to help women who struggle with anxiety in dating, in relationships and being single, so that you can find the joy and the comfort in being single, have fun dating, and invite in extraordinary, healthy love that you desire and deserve. I have just launched a cozy, transformative space, which is a monthly membership for women who lose themselves in love. It's called Follow Your Fire, and you can check it all out in the links.